Happy Journey Together release date. We are seeing sealed product already starting to drop, booster boxes, ETBs, all coming down in price. I'm going to break all of that down, and we're going to talk about the possible Pokemon Center drop today. It hasn't happened yet, but it is still possible for the release. But before we go into that, I did want to touch on a few Destined Rivals products that just got announced. These are some pretty cool collection boxes. We have the Team Rockets Mewtwo EX box with Giovanni. You get the giant Rocket card, you get Rocket's Mewtwo, you get a Meowth card, and a smaller. This is an alternate version of the Mewtwo, which I do think is very cool. Now, in this one, you get 4 packs. It looks like 2 Destined Rivals and 2 Journey Together. I think this is definitely Journey Together and 2 Destined Rivals. So only 4 packs in this one, but you can see here's the Japanese. This is the regular version, and this is just like the alternate promo that we're getting in this one. So very cool collection box. This is going to be a June 13th release. So that's going to be 2 weeks after the official release of Destined Rivals, which is May 30th. So 2 weeks after, we'll get these collection boxes. The other box being the Cynthia's Garchomp box. Now, this has more packs and has a lot more other stuff. You got these like, we'll break it all down for you, but only 2 Destined Rivals packs. You got more packs overall, but still only 2 Destined Rivals. Slightly alternate promo of the Garchomp, just a very slightly different pose. So this has an acrylic standee sheet. So it looks like you pop these guys out, and these are little acrylics. They go into the base, and they're like little display stands. So that's what that is. And then the promo is just a little bit different. Here's the regular one, and then this one's just a little different of a pose. So more packs there, but still only 2 for Destined Rivals. Now, as of this recording, it's 8:27 as I record this AM Pacific time, and the Pokemon Center last time for Prismatic, they did not do another drop on release on the actual release morning. Other sets they have. So there could have been a drop already. There could have not been a drop by the time you watch this video. Maybe it just doesn't happen and they follow the Prismatic and they don't drop additional product. Or maybe they have. Maybe it's already happened. Or maybe it's happening right now. I'm just letting you guys know that that is a possibility. Booster boxes, PCETBs, although they already did do 2 waves of PCETBs, booster bundles, and then sleeved packs here. So that is a possibility for today, but obviously, as of right now, it's all sold out on the Pokemon Center. So we'll have to see. Obviously, I don't have an update for you guys on that. But the positive news that we had talked about recently on the channel across the board was, I was telling you guys, if you weren't familiar, when Prismatic dropped on release day, all because the way that TCG Player works and just supply and demand in general, right? The prices tend to drop. Okay, TCG Player, not everyone can list, but then also on top of that, more people start to get their product listed in just in general as of release, and we're seeing drops across the board. PC ETBs dropping 46%. They were $340. Now we're seeing 170. You can see lowest listed right now for a PC ETB 170. Still well above MSRP, right? Obviously, still very expensive, but we knew that these were going to be coming down. It's not just the PC ETBs, it's pretty much everything, booster boxes as well. But I just wanted to note that, that's what we saw for Prismatic, and we're seeing the same exact thing. We're seeing more supply hit the market, and the prices are going to come down. Where they bottom out, I'm not sure. It's something to keep an eye on, but you see usually the race to the bottom. People want to sell, so they start undercutting each other a little bit all the way down until they find whatever the absolute bottom is. And so with Prismatic, it found its bottom. It took a little bit, it took a few weeks, and then it started to rise after that. So we saw a decline to a bottom, and then things started, I would assume we would see the same or similar thing happen with Journey Together as well. So PC ETBs doing that. You can see pretty consistent 170s, 160s sales all this morning already for the PC ETBs. We also have the Ends Reshiram stamped promo from the booster, the box topper, dropping like massive 70%. It's now in the $20 range. You can see it was $70, $60, and now it's just come down, down, down. Lowest listed $21 shipped. So these becoming a lot more affordable as people open booster boxes and get them. You can see sale as low as 19, but pretty much in that $20 range currently. So the box topper, a lot more affordable, even if you're not picking up a booster box, but you want the stamped promo. Very much more affordable than it was just a few days ago. So that's coming down as well. So some singles, the other singles not as much, and we'll talk about that. But regular ETBs coming down. These were at 90. They shot up to 118, came back down to 107, peaked around 130, and now we're seeing $83 for regular ETBs. Still above MSRP, but definitely a lot more affordable than $130. So that's nice to see them coming down. Looks like you lowest listeds, they're all pretty much in the 80s if you include shipping, which does match for the current market price. So once again, we'll have to see how low they actually go. You can see that all the most recent sales right here are pretty much 80s with some in the mid to upper 70s. One as low as $70 though. So maybe they'll continue to drop. We'll have to keep an eye on it, but it's nice to see the product becoming at least a little bit more affordable, even if things are going to be crazy. It's sad to see these like insane prices, right? So it's nice to see that at least if you wanted to pick up some today, at least it's a little bit more reasonable, right? So you still have to pay over MSRP, which is unfortunate, which you shouldn't really have to do on release of a new set, but that's the market that we're in right now. Okay. Booster boxes. The booster box thing on TCG Player is still weird, right? You have the enhanced box, which is the normal box, right? They're in the U.S. They're all the normal box, right? They're all this. That's pretty much all of them. There's some exceptions. You could have gotten one without it, but it's actually harder to get without. So, anyways, enhanced box down 53%. Right back here, we were seeing. We're gonna exclude this $500, but it was 300 back here, and it just down to 230. Lowest listeds right now are 225. With shipping, you end up in the 230s right here for all these listings. If we look at the last solds, pretty much consistent to 230s. So still very expensive booster box, especially for a brand new Scarlet and Violet set. But they have come down quite a bit. So at least that they are coming down off of these higher prices. 270, 280. You're able to save yourself some money if you had to pick one up. At least the bright side, if you didn't want the promo and you're picking one up at if you're picking one up at 220, you can sell your promo card off for 220, then your cost is only 200. I don't know, it's just one of those things. Maybe you can offset your cost just a little bit. But so booster boxes obviously still expensive, but at least they're coming down. It's a step in the right direction as far as release goes. Then here's the regular box, right? Which they're both like the same thing here in the U.S. Once again, different in the U.K. The enhanced are harder to get at specific retailers. I'm not sure which ones, and I'm not sure like how many they have. Right? I only know the market here. But these ones have dropped. You can see on the chart a little bit better. These were as high as 285 just 4 days ago, and then now they're down still high, 240, but seeing a little significant drop. They were 216 back here, so I don't know if we'll get back down to this level. That's something to keep an eye on, but I think the split listings here is a bit unfortunate, and I think doesn't really help things if I'm being completely honest. But last sold's 250s, and most recent one is 237. So we'll have to see if this listing continues to go down. You can see with shipping, they're all in the 240s. So another thing to keep an eye on is the regular booster box. Then we have bundles dropping in price significantly as well. Now, this was a product that I had heard and mentioned in a few videos that this is the one that people were reporting was the most printed. And we kind of seen that kind of a confirmation of that as far as what Pokemon had been doing with the restocks lately. So we saw a lot of like Surging Sparks, 151, other booster bundles being restocked and reprinted. Like the 151 booster bundles have been like churning in left and right. So they really like printing the booster bundles. And like I said, I had heard from some people who have distribution. I do not have distribution access, that there was a lot of booster bundle allocations. So that does track and make sense. These had crept up all the way from 50s up to 68 was the peak, and now we're down to around 45. Still, once again, same thing, well above MSRP, but a significant drop, a lot more affordable, at least in that $40 range. So last sold's pretty consistent right there, mid to upper 40s, some going as low as 40. So once again, keep an eye on how low they drop. Upper 40s right here for the lowest listeds on the booster bundles. Then we'll talk about some singles. Now, I think the singles need a little bit more time to kind of level out, see if they drop or not, because people have to open the product, right? And then that's when the supply kind of comes. But we are seeing a little bit of an initial drop off of like some of these highs. Not a ton yet, but Lily's Clefairy, 330 down to 317 with the most recent sale actually at 296. So it has come down a little, going sub 300 at least for a few sales. So we'll see if this card holds over 300 or if it dips below that. But that's kind of where it is right now. You can pick this card up for around 300. We'll see, like I said, as more supply enters, that in theory these go down. That's usually what happens, but the market's crazy and nothing's perfectly working. So we'll see, kind of how that ends up. 37 copies currently listed on TCG Player. Then you got Ends Zorark here. Now this one's down. It was at 221, and this one is at 205. Most recent sales below 200, 178, 185, and 170. This is a nice looking card. I do like this card. It's kind of like a cooler, a little bit more menacing look on his face. It is a cool card. But if you want to pick one up, you are at in the 170s, 180 range for lowest listeds on this one. So this SIR has dropped as well. Then you have the Salamence, which I do think is one of my. It's not one of my chase cards from the set. I have two illustration rares that are my personal chases, but I do like this card a lot. This is definitely up there. Actually no, this is one of my. I'm deciding. I'm changing my mind. This is one of my chases from the set for an SIR. If I had to pick an SIR, I think I like the Salamence the best personally. Now this one has dropped a bit more, down 20%. And you can see there's a lot more supply already starting to be available on this one. 69 copies comparatively to some of the other cards. So it was at 245, and now we're seeing market at 195, but last sold's around 140. So continuing to drop on the Salamence. So 20% drop there, and if it holds at 140, that's going to be a much bigger drop than 20%. Lowest listed for an English copy, we're at 150 bucks currently. Quite a few listings at 150 for the Salamence. Really nice looking card. Once again, looks way better in person. The Japanese copy looks stunning. This scan does not do it justice. Then we have the Zacian, Hops Zacian right here. Same thing, dropping off of release. A lot more copies available, 79. So people have been ripping the product already. From 178 down to 150. You'll see it shows these are the only three sales. However, it does show most recent sale at 120. So I don't know if that's accurate or not, or maybe that's a little bit of a glitch. Lowest listed's around 140-ish, 138, 140. So Hopsation continuing to drop. Then my other chases from the set. The illustration rare Articuno. Now this one had come up. It was at 50 back here, went up to 65, and now it's back down to around 44. Over 100 copies of this one available. Easier to pull the illustration rares. Around 40 bucks is kind of what we're seeing for last solds, and lowest listed is probably going to match that, lower 40s. So that kind of adds up. See where it bottoms out. This is a card that I would love to have in a PSA 10. We'll see how the print run. I haven't heard how the print quality is. If you've opened any, or if you heard, let me know in the comments how the print quality is, because I would love to pick up this card in a 10. If it's a rough print run, and it's tough to grade, the Articuno is going to be very expensive in 10. I'd love to pick up a raw copy and grade it myself, but I would assume a 10 copy would be very expensive. Also, with PSA being very backed up, might be a while before we see a lot of 10 copies come into the wild for the Articuno. Then just the silly Whale Lord card is another one of my chases. I just thought this was the silliest card, and I like the coloring on it. And so yeah, this is one of my chases. So yeah, I think that's my three. The Salamence, the Articuno, and the Whale Lord are kind of my chases from the set, if I'm being completely honest. I do like the Enzoric a lot as well, but I wouldn't classify it into my chases. But so yeah, the Whale Lord. This was at 60 bucks, which obviously, come on, this is not going to be a $60 IR. It's come down all the way down to around 27. So a lot more affordable, over 100 copies listed. So the supply is starting to go up. And we can see we have sales in the $20 range, $20 and $30 range, which makes sense. I want to see where this card bottoms out at. This would be another one. I'd like to pick up some multiple copies possibly, and then grade a hopeful PSA 10 contender if possible. Lowest listeds right there with all the last solds, high 20s, low 30s on the Whale Lord. So yeah, happy release day. Like I said, we don't know about the Pokemon Center drop. Could have happened by the time you're watching this. Could happen after the release of this video as well. The Pokemon Company has been mixing things up. We saw, like, obviously with the Destined Rivals pre-orders dropping on like a Monday, and they've been messing with the times. Like Journey Together pre-order times were all over the place. They did like a 5 a.m. Pacific ish time. I might be off slightly on my times, but it was like 5 a.m. Pacific for like the first Journey Together pre-order drop, and so like I wasn't awake because I'm West Coast, and then they changed, and then they did a different one for the second one, and it was random, and they're like mixing up the days, mixing up the times, so we don't know what they're doing. And then yeah, the queue system, and there's just like so much going on with the Pokemon Center and all of that stuff. So we don't know what's going on. We don't know when things are going to happen. We used to get them on release. Like I said, these used to be like, okay, we know we're going to get more product on release day, which you would think we would, because it kind of like they want to celebrate the release of the product. But so yeah, it could just be coming later in the day. We have seen some like they did some other drops that were later in the day, like 10 to 11 a.m. Pacific. Is kind of when they did some other like later drops, so that it could just be a delayed later drop as well. It's definitely possible. So let me know how your guys' success was, if you went to like a pre-release, or if you ripped some product, if you got some booster boxes, you got some ETBs, you went to your LGS, if you got stuff at Walmart, Target. Let me know if you were able to get any Journey Together stuff, and if you got any pulls. Let me know in the comments, and then also let me know what you think of the new Team Rocket's Mewtwo box, and then the Cynthia's Garchomp box, because I do think that those are for collection boxes. Obviously I'm very excited about Destined Rivals, right? I'm not hiding that, but those are two of the collection boxes that I do think, specifically the Team Rockets box. Those are going to be hot items, and I'm more excited about those little collection boxes. And it's going to be tough to get them at MSRP, but it is nice. The $22 for the Team Rockets. I don't know if I touched on that earlier, is the MSRP, and 40 for the Cynthia's Garchomp because it has more packs and that little acrylic thing. So I'd pick up either if they were available, but obviously the Team Rockets one, because you get the same amount of Destined Rivals packs out of them. But either way, excited for those to be dropping. Once again, it's, if we can get any, it's gonna be hard to get them, right? But hopefully things start to get easier in the future as far as product goes, as far as availability goes. I try to be, I got to tell myself that I got to be optimistic that things will get better. It just will take time. Otherwise, I will go crazy and I will be depressed. And I don't want to be depressed. I want to be happy. Um, so yeah, that's all I have for this one, guys. Happy Journey Together release. Exciting time when we have a new set coming out, and even looking forward into the future, into more sets. I'm excited for the future of the Pokemon cards, the set, the community, everything. It's been a blast. It's been a little bit of a hard, scary time, but it's still been fun. But that's all I have for this one, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. And remember, it was never phase.